Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. At the time this video was recorded, Haley Pham's debut novel just came out a few days ago. Haley Pham is a YouTuber who in the past couple years has started to focus on books and reading. And so it's been really cool to see her journey going from someone who doesn't read to someone who reads, and then finally to someone who has written her own book. So her story is very inspiring, and it's been really cool to see how she's progressed through this whole process. So I made a quick trip to Books A Million to go see if they had any copies available. The very first copies sold in store have special art on the front and back covers, and then it also has a chapter in the back which has been annotated by Haley herself. So it's just kind of scanned in copies of that. So it's really cool to read through and see all of her thoughts as she's writing about her own story and her own characters. So I was super excited to pick one of those up before they sold out. Haley Pham's book is called Just Friends, and it is a dual timeline, second chance romance that follows the main character Blair as she comes back home from college and unexpectedly has to live in her same hometown that she grew up in because of a family member that is really sick and sadly passing away. So she finds herself in a life situation she was not expecting, and so you kind of get to see how she deals with major themes like grief and then trying to navigate all of the changes that come along with those things. Overall, it was a really sweet story and good writing for being Haley's debut novel. There were several really good quotes that did a fantastic job encapsulating the difficult emotions and themes that her book sought to explore. So I really enjoyed it and had fun reading. And I'm not usually one to read romance books at all, so this was kind of out of my usual TBR. And although, of course, since it is her first novel, there were some things that I didn't necessarily like. Overall, I thought it was a fun read and just really inspiring to see how someone can go from not even reading to writing books, and I just think that such a thing is super awesome. And I also just appreciate the fact that she kept it clean and there was nothing explicit in this since it was a romance. So I don't know, I thought it was cute, and I feel like I can't talk about it too much because I don't want to give any spoilers away. But the only main thing I would say is that the way the book ended kind of reminded me of a very popular and well-known movie. And again, so I won't spoil anything, I'm not going to say what it is, but I was just kind of wondering if other people kind of saw the same parallel and same plot line. So that's my only, I guess the only major critique I have, besides just small ones, just because it's her first novel. But so I ended up rating this 3 stars, but again, appreciate it so much for it being her first book ever, and I'm excited to see what else she writes. Also, I was reading this book while we were on a trip to Atlanta, exploring a lot of different international markets and getting to see a lot of cool things, so I have memories paired with it now. But I also really enjoyed the fact that she explored the theme of grief and then also the theme of holding incorrect beliefs because of past trauma or experiences, and how the characters kind of navigated that and rewrote those beliefs. That was another theme that I really appreciated in her writing and in her book. I also, of course, had to do some art for the book. This particular bird comes up in the story, and it's really cute how she ties it in. So I wanted to do that, to potentially do some book journaling later. But honestly, I think that her book and her writing has gotten me out of a reading and writing slump myself. So I'm going to start creating a new TBR for the next month or two on some other books that I want to read. And then, I don't know, it's making me get more inspired to jump into my own writing again. So I'm excited about that as well. So we'll see what happens. Since we were on that trip, I did want to talk just a little bit about it. So like I said, the area we were in had a very heavy international population. So there were all kinds of different markets that you could go to with food from all over the world. One of the markets we went to had different aisles, and each aisle was a different country. But another one of the markets we went to was mainly just Asian, so Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and it had all kinds of different things. Tons of fresh produce, fresh seafood, noodles, pretty much anything that you could imagine. And then there was also a food court in that same building with different stands and food from different areas within China and Japan. And then another really cool area we got to go to was a Japanese bakery. And so it had baked items like croissants, chocolate buns, different types of cake, pies, all kinds of different stuff. So it was really, really interesting and so much fun to go walk through all of that. Alright guys, thank you so very much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you wish, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.